Hi, I'm Rob King, this is Homebrew number 45 and we're going to do a winter warmer kit just in time for firework night. And this is a big one, 36 pints. I rarely do quite that size of brew. And I did run into some problems, not least of all needing 45 bottles to fit it all in. A quick thank you also, this was a birthday gift from my work colleagues. Now, kits are great because you don't need a brew kettle. You can go straight to the fermenter with one of these. So it's super fast. But we did run into a few problems with this brew. So there were a few things we tried and a final conclusion. So the question is, will it be all right on the night? This is the Homebrew Masterplan with 16 homebrews aligned to 16 special events throughout the year. And it's all gone horribly wrong. We are now on the winter warmer. It started a week late, it was tight anyway, and we ran into problems. Oh dear. It is time to open the box and see what we have. Starting with some instructions, the yeast of course, and 2 tins of liquid malt extract. Right, 20 litres of water at the ready. What do the instructions say to do next? Clean and sterilise all beer making equipment. Stand cans in hot water for 5 minutes to soften the contents, then pour the can contents into your sterilised fermenter. Step 1, clean and sanitise. Airlock, bung, spoon, wine thief. Stand cans in hot water to soften the contents. Doesn't look like there's a top or a bottom. We'll see. Two. Add 3.5 litres of boiling water, add 14.2 litres of cold water to bring the total volume up to 20.5 litres, and thoroughly mix to ensure all contents are fully dissolved. Boiling water, rinse these out. This should be roughly 20.5 litres according to the instructions, and actually probably fairly close. This is an estimate, but it's the 20 litre mark. This is a quick extra step since we don't know the gravity. Take an opportunity to record it now. The instructions do say I can pitch straight away, but that's coming in at 32.8 degrees centigrade. So I am going to pause it there for a moment and let it cool. That's just cooling, so I'm just going to add a touch of food grade grease to the lid. This definitely helps things along. Okay, 22.9. 3. Sprinkle on the yeast, cover the fermenter and leave to stand for 4 to 6 days in a warm place. Fermentation will complete when bubbles cease to rise. If you use a hydrometer when the gravity remains constant below 1.014. So the temperature here is a bit warmer, 30 degrees, but that's fine. Day 2 is just an occasional bubble. Day 3. We are day 4. Bubbling hasn't actually stopped. There is a slow bubble still going on. Now there are 4 things that we can do when the gravity isn't quite getting down to the final level that we were looking for. First, we can re-agitate the yeast, which we're going to do. We can also add a little bit of yeast nutrient, which we're also going to do. We can also raise the temperature by a couple of degrees. So I'm going to think about that and see if there's somewhere I can move it. And finally, and I'm not going to do this yet, is we could also add some additional yeast. Something that's nice and clean, like the EC1118. We often use it in a cider. That's the champagne yeast. So let's try and make some adjustments and see if we can help it along. 8 grams of fermented dough. Sanitised spoon. All looks fine and smells wonderful. Well, the aroma is lovely. It does have a few of those spicy notes. And it looks great, the colour is looking wonderful. It actually tastes dry. I don't feel that it's under fermented, but it hasn't reached the final gravity. It does have a bit of an aftertaste. 4. Transfer the beer into bottles or a pressure barrel and add half a teaspoon of light spray malt per pint to each bottle, or a maximum of 85 grams per 5 UK gallon pressure barrel. Stand bottles or barrel in a warm place for 2 days, then allow 14 days in a cool place until the beer has cleared. Sanitised spoon, our spray malt 65 grams, going back in the fermenter. Sanitised spoon, don't want to oxygenate it, so I'm doing this quite slowly. That is approximately 18 litres, that was the estimate. Also in the garage at the moment are those winter warmers. Well, we are actually just past firework night, but it is the first Saturday after firework night, so it's time for our winter warmer. Now this gave us a few challenges along the way, so it will be interesting to see how it's turned out. I've got 42 bottles, so let's hope it's good. Only a small amount of fizz. Ooh, very stouty actually. Malty. Interesting. Well, we've got the red colour. That was as expected. Colour, good. It's supposed to have a little bit of a Christmassy feel to it, a winter warmer. Carbonation doesn't seem that great. There is some, but not great. I think I'm getting a touch of yeast. The all-important test, of course, is the taste. So, lots of flavour that hit you straight away with the mouthfeel. That is very nice. The lack of carbonation is a bit of a problem though. It feels like it is just missing something. It's not flat, it is lightly carbonated. On the second taste, it seems to smooth out a little bit. I wonder if this just needs to stand a bit before you drink it. Those aromas are spicy aromas. They're not citrusy at all. They're the types of aroma that come alongside the pumpkin ale, where I put coriander and vanilla. I'm going to move indoors and open the second bottle and think about this a bit more. I deliberately gave it a bit of a pour to try and help sort of show some of the carbonation. The carbonation's there, you can just about see the bubbles, if you can see that. But the carbonation is very light. We followed the recipe precisely on that with using spray malt, and this is still quite early, so it is possible that we just need to give it a bit more time. Aroma does have some complexity to it. It does have some of those more spicy notes, and certainly not fruity or citrusy in any way. It is an ale on the nose. So as a small sip goes, it definitely has quite a nice flavour on the front. However, there is some astringency on the back end, and I wonder if that is due to the fact that it's still a little bit early. I hope that is the case. I certainly got that when I tried one earlier. Carbonation in this bottle also is a little better, which does suggest, again, we just need to give it a bit more time than was suggested by the recipe. The aroma actually is quite nice. I see what they mean when they talk about having those sort of spicy, fireworky, Christmassy notes to them. Let's hope, as far as this one is concerned, it is just down to timing. We will be back for a retrospective in about 46 weeks' time. So I am going to put this to one side now and pick it up again in about 3 or 4 weeks. Cheers everyone, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Do please like, subscribe and comment. Good health.
That's 13 down and 3 to go. The winter warmer needs some extra conditioning time, but in the meantime I am very happy with the results from the pumpkin ale. That's certainly filling the gap. Meanwhile, the fresh pear cider is in the bottle and will be up next, and do check out the retrospective when we revisit the winter warmer and see if that extra time makes all the difference.